Well, as we perhaps suggested during our early season struggles, there are some signs that this is just starting to come together now. Don't be fooled, there are still some frustrating performances in the midst of it, but we're getting a little bit more consistent. The usual injuries have returned. Viladson, of course, has picked up another one for you. But today we've got two pretty big games, one at the top of the Croatian League and one in the Europa League on Thursday night. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 43 of the Coach's Head with me, Daniel. We are back today for the battle of second v third as it's Dinamo v Osijek in the Croatian top tier. Rudez currently the side that are top, but we can go above them on goal difference if we win this one. And then a few days later, Hoffenheim the opponents, as this time it's a travel to German opposition rather than them visiting us. But in the Europa League, we're being competitive and we're doing enough. We've still got injury problems, the backup goalkeeper, and again Viladson. Honestly, never seen anything like this. Doesn't even say he's injury prone in his report. So if you're ever worried in the future about injury prone players, just don't be, because this guy, 5 injuries in 4 months, 3 of them 3 weeks or longer. It is so frustrating. So Valadson's out. We've got two big games. If you're looking forward to them, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. We've got a few games to reflect on off camera. And I did think I should also mention this screen. If we go through to the staffing changes, there are so many staff members coming in, and particularly when it comes to the scouting side of things, the recruitment team. Now, they're not very good. They're pretty poor scouts. They're pretty poor recruitment analysts, but it is interesting to see that that team's being bolstered and with young people who might improve in the future. Whether or not that happens or whether it happens when we still need it, I don't know. But let's go and have a look at the 4 games we've played off camera, because you were with me as we battered Rijeka and then had a tough time against Hamburg late on in the Europa League, but did play really well. And we've kept the unbeaten run going, albeit frustration at times again. Against Rudez, the current league leaders in a Croatian Cup, we did really well, aided by the 6-day break there with Medina getting a brace and one for Tags F2. We also got a draw against Varazdin, last season's champions in Croatia, not having quite as good a year this time, but we've only picked up 1 point out of 6 against them now. We did beat them in that Super Cup final, but it was Hugo Gonzalez with a goal, which was pegged back pretty late on. We did have to rotate a bit for that, though. It was worth it, because when we played Braga on Thursday night, we beat them pretty comfortably by 3 goals to 1. They're a really poor side now. They actually lost 35 million quid's worth of talent this summer across 3 players, and we took advantage. They didn't travel well. Medina and Suslov got the early goals. We were pegged back just before the break, and you can see Araujo's making a difference at the back. Shell was brilliant defensively, but the big goal came at the end from Diambu just to make it comfortable. He was one of many that got rested then against Istra at the weekend, where we still won 3-0. Guazzada getting an important goal, as well as Timmy Cooper and Fode Fofana, as another good win was secured going into the international break, which did give a lot of our squad a breather, an opportunity to regroup and regather fitness, as we now go into another pretty torturous run of games. Yes, there's a nice winter break after the 12th of December, so it's almost like having another international break. But up until that point, it is a game every week and a game every midweek. It is 2 games. It is Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Thursday, whichever way you look at it. It's not going to be easy. So let's go and get through to the first of the doubleheader today. Osijek and us battling to be, well, the closest contenders at the moment to Rudez, who last season, I don't even know where they finished. They were 5th. It seems to be a pattern in this league. One of the things I will say, I thought, a bit like some of you guys in the comments, I was a bit worried this could have been a Copenhagen when we joined and we just flew to the top. But there's a lot of competitive teams here. And because the AI isn't broken, with it not being a B team league, all of the teams are recruiting well, in addition to us doing a bit. So let's go and get through to the fixtures. It is Osijek who are our visitors. Our home, we have generally been a bit stronger, so hopefully we can at least avoid defeat. No names that I really recognise in that team. But let's go and see what R11 can do, because this is probably the side that played 2 weeks ago. I just want to see if we need to make any changes to it, because Aver has pretty much established himself as the second centre-half now, replaces Clara. He's physically better. He's great in the air. He's 6'6". he's the one who's going to play because Clare is in his 30s and declining. In midfield, we're starting to find that balance. Medina's becoming a star. The only real decision is who plays on the left. Malaysia had a great start to the season. It's been poor in recent weeks. Fofana's actually stepped up, but that's weirdly from largely playing in the number 10 role. And Hugo Gonzalez, who I thought was going to be the star of the club, not had the best of starts here. I was tempted to bring him in today, but I'm not going to. Beto will start up front, but Timmy Cooper is pushing very close. But he has been a super sub at times this year. This is the squad we're going for of everyone that's fit. Just some Mardzic missing out on a squad. I would play him ahead of a couple of the others, but we've got to have 6 homegrown players in the squad, which means he has to drop out for someone weaker. Butarak is the number 10 that we have bought in. Had a real shot up in his development from the under-18s. And you could argue he's now actually better than him. Might become the first choice number 10 before too long. Could he be our Torbed from Willem 2, the one who breaks through? We'll wait and see. It means our 11 in full today is Ted Kurd in goal. Araujo, the solid, dependable one, back at right back alongside Simic on the left. Baishel and Aver, we've mentioned in the middle. Tagsef and Diambu, the 2 holding midfielders. Malaysia and Medina out wide. And then it's Suslov, again finding some form now behind Beto, the inconsistent man up front. Only really seems to score penalties, but he's doing the job when it matters. Let's go and get through to this one. See how we get on in this battle of 2 of the 3 title rivals. Well, it's 3 changes for the visitors today. They're clearly a good side. They've been up there this year. We struggled against them in the reverse fixture. But let's just see what these lads can produce. We're starting to see a few players that are believing in us now, that are confident when they're going into team talks, that are already inspired by us. Our reputation is starting to deliver when it comes to behind the scenes in the dressing room. Whether or not that is consistent enough against these top sides, I don't know. We still struggled with the champions at home a few weeks ago, and we still struggled late on against Hamburg. So let's see what this one brings. This long downfield, Araujo and the goalkeeper should be there. Ted Kurd just throws the ball back to the ground in disgust. I don't know what upset him there. As Araujo plays into Tagsef in that holding role. Towards Malaysia, it's under here. It's poor. Really not a good pass. Kaladic in. Don't know what the defender's doing either. Baishel just flew into a tackle, got nowhere near the ball. Almost as if he was trying to block a shot that wasn't coming. And so far, from the couple of little clips of highlights we've seen, it's not good viewing for us. Ted Kurd forced into a good save from another free kick there. We're giving away opportunities. We're giving away dangerous positions. And that is not ideal going into the second 15 minutes. As Illy puts the ball up to the back stick, Ted Kurd does very well. I don't want to say it now because we've conceded so many this season. We're starting to look better from set pieces. I feel we're starting to reap the rewards of all the work we've done. Those will be famous last words. Don't you worry. Half an hour gone. We've not had much in this game. We'll throw a bit of encouragement before the break. I'm trying to get out the habit of team talks and those touchline shouts, knowing that they're not going to be in next year. But at half time, we've got a corner kick and a chance to change it just before the break. It's been a nothing game. We've had no attacking threat, and we still haven't, because from our corner, we've managed to be on the defensive side of things. The Ambus had to make a last-ditch challenge, sliding in on a yellow, probably not what we want to see. But he does win it this time. Malaysia finds Baishel, who's made his way back. And we're into the 2 minutes added on, and we're not playing particularly well. The one thing I was going to say about Braga and Istra is it was 2 good performances back-to-back. Can we find one here as Suslov gets down the right-hand side from the poor-headed clearance? Beto's in the middle. Beto wins the header. But he also puts it a long way over the bar. Not the best of finishing, not that ruthless streak, but in truth, we've created next to nothing for him. So I'm going to say I'm not happy with that performance. We'll hope for a reaction in the second half. Tagsef now on the yellow as well, not playing too well. We've got Malaysia struggling, should have started Gonzalez. I'll be making a few changes at the hour mark because this hasn't been good. Well, again, just as I go to make the subs, we're back for a highlight. And is it? No, I thought it was going to be a penalty, but Suslov loses the ball. Falls for Malaysia. And out of nowhere, we go 1 up. How is that an own goal? I'm not disputing the fact that it might have hit Mark and Daly. But I'm pretty sure, as we still don't get a break in the highlights, I'm pretty sure that was going on target prior. Ted Kerr claims the cross. I want to make the subs now. We're just waiting for a little breather, and it's a shame because Malaysia could really have done with a boost to his match rating as Beto wins the header for Diambu. Nice switch to Medina, who's been quiet in this game but has now got a chance to stretch his legs. Down the right he goes to the byline. It's good football. Can't quite get there. Will Osijek come out now and give us a chance? Diambu's header's poor. And they're getting to run at two holding midfielders who are both on bookings. You can see Suslov was trying to get back. Malaysia has forced it wide. But this is one of those long highlights which has me worried because they're on the attack to finish it. And they've got a man over out wide here. Bukvic in. It's a good ball. It's a terrible miss from Kaladic. Wow, we should be 1-1 there. That is very, very unpleasant defending. We have got away with murder. Let's have a look at the subs bench. Malaysia off for Hugo Gonzalez. Tagzev will come off for Quezada. We've got to bear in mind that Quezada can't play in a week. There's a couple of others in that boat. I'm going to bring on Timmy Cooper for Beto, who's not done a lot in this game. Cooper is the better striker, just less of a physical presence. It maybe means we need to go lower with the crosses. I don't know. I'd like to get Butarak on ideally. He's played 6 games for the club in the league, but not under my management. And then the other question is, do we take Diambu? Do we do a Ver? Because he's got a yellow as well. Clara's not quite the same player though now. I'm going to leave it at those 3 for now. We're not going to go silly. Suslov will probably struggle to do 90. He's the only one of our team that featured in the international break, well, later on in it. You can see there, he's just starting to struggle with fitness as Ver plays into Diambu. Baishel picks it up on halfway. In towards Diambu again, it's under hit. Baishel's had a stinker of a game. Out to the left-hand side to Bukvic. Into the box, it's 1-1. I mean, talk about shooting yourself in the foot. He's not even a ball-playing defender. I don't really know why he's trying to play out so much because we've not got that as an instruction at all. We're not even playing short. We're not playing out of defence. It says to focus the play out wide and he's trying to play a delicate pass into the midfield area. Really not good decision making there at all. I'm going to go for Baishel off after that. Clara will come on for him. And we're also going to take off Suslov. It will be replaced by not Butarak, but Fodi Fofana. This is a game for experience and players that are in form and know their first team teammates. This isn't going to be given offside. We're not going to get away with it. The flag stayed down. It will be 1-1. And it's another missed opportunity. A game where in the second half we've been pretty comfortable. But we've then thrown the opportunity away. Not good enough, to be honest with you. And another sign, it's a step forward and a step back. We're not going backwards at all, but we're just having frustrating moments. There's 5 minutes remaining. I'm going to go positive. We're going to try and be front-footed because they will hang on for the point. And I think they're going to get it. It's another game where these sides are proving to be tightly matched. And you've got to say, well, we've probably got one of the strongest squads in this division. We've definitely not got some of the best players. Some of the star players of this league are at other clubs. And it's proving the case again here. Let's have a look at Kaladic. He is, well, look what I mean there. Kaladic would be our starting striker if he was here. He's sensational. The 22-year-old Croatian, he's one of their homegrown in the nation players. And that's where the big difference comes. A lot of them have got homegrown class players. We lost one in Fuad and we've not replaced them. And I have to say that wasn't good enough. The fullbacks were good. Araujo's building again. But hopefully these boys will be fit on Thursday night. In truth, we've limited the damage. We've drawn with Osijek. They stay below us. But we don't catch Rudez. There's the table after 15 games. Probably not a lot what a lot of you were expecting after the Copenhagen stint. But now we turn our attention back to the Europa League and a big opportunity against German opposition. Can we get a result at Hoffenheim or will we be embarrassed in Germany? Well, fitness test time ahead of what I'm sure will be another tough game in Europe as Veladson is not back, he's not fit, and I'm not risking him when he's not quite there. We have got some good news though. One player coming back from loan pretty shortly. And it's a player who I didn't want to go out in the first place, which is Berislav Kale. He's a holding midfielder who was at Malmo. But their season ends at the end of November. So he'll be back here. Won't be, of course, eligible for the Europa. But we'll be able to play in league fixtures, which will be nice. If we go and get through to this though, we're not in a bad position so far. We have a look at it. We've got 7 points after 4 games. The only thing we've got to bear in mind with that, though, with the Europa League, is that after this game, probably Sarajevo is the most winnable one. I would expect Rangers and Real Sociedad to be strong. I would expect Hoffenheim to be strong today. But if we beat Sarajevo and get 10, I think we probably go through. So let's have a look at a tactical meeting, see how we set up for this one. 4-4-2 being played by our opponents. That is interesting to see. Let's see what we can do with it. We are going to go for a different squad. We're down to one goalkeeper as well, aren't we? Because the backup was the one registered for the Europa. We'll get the other two boys on the bench there. And then we'll have to get a youth goalkeeper on to make up the numbers. Have we got one? Yes, we have. How bad is he? Very. Nice and simple. How tall are you? Your jumping reach is 9, but you're 6'1". You just can't jump for some reason. That's probably why he decided to be a goalkeeper, wasn't it? Why is he not in the squad? There we go. In terms of the rest, I don't really want to change the 11 too much. I'm tempted to do something bold here. What I am going to do is put Gonzalez in for Malaysia. I'm going to put Timmy Cooper in up front just for a threat on the break. And I think you can probably tell what I'm thinking. The only one that's struggling in terms of fitness is Suslov. Now, I could bring in Samardzic, who's okay. He's 23, he's decent. I could bring in Fode Fofana as the number 10. He's not a bad player. Or I could bring in Buttarak, who is going to be the future sensation of this team. And that's what I'm going to do. Ilan Buttarak is going to make his first start for me. Has he started for the club before? He started one cup game last year, but he has never started a league or a European match. And he's going to do it here. So this is the 11 in full. No changes to the back 7, but Hugo Gonzalez and young Ilan Buttarak are the two in attacking midfield. Up front, it is Cooper in for Beto, a more youthful and more pacey feel to the team tonight, as hopefully away in Germany, we can cause a few problems on the break. Well, here is the squad that we're coming up against. I'm looking at that Hoffenheim team. I was looking for a couple of the originals, those sort of big-name younger strikers, not there. Maximilian Bayer, a known name, and a couple of other players that you'll recognise, but no real heavy hitters, no worldwide superstars. So Hoffenheim probably reaching into the Europa League again, rather than being a regular top European side from the Bundesliga. In fact, though, we can go and have a look at that, can't we? Trying to remember where they were when we were at the head coach with Bayern. No, see? The 5th the last 2 seasons, but prior to that, they'd sort of been slipping down ever since the first year, without ever really reaching the bottom. So, a mid-table club that has now made its way back. We're going to ask the boys to prove a point. We're going to try and hit on the break. And hopefully, we're going to have a good day. I'm hoping we'll be able to sneak a point against these guys or Rangers at home. Because then if we do beat Sarajevo, that will definitely secure us through. But anything tonight is a great result. And the coefficient could be helped as well, as Tagzev goes wide to Buttarak. How will he react to his first big start? Back to Araujo. Finds Medina on the left. Good chip in towards Cooper. 1-on-1, Timmy Cooper. Against a strong Bundesliga side, we have the lead. And I think Cooper, after his little settling in period, despite the fact he's not my general style of striker, will need to replace Beto soon, because he is very much the man, isn't he? We'll keep an eye on Varazdin, who are 0-0 at home to Helsinki. If there's a game they're going to win in the Europa League, that has to be the one. They'd probably be favourites for that. He's headed away as far as Simic on the left-hand side here. And Medina. Chance to get the ball in the middle and play back to Tagzev. And now Diambu carrying the ball forwards. Looks towards Buttarak. Good touch from him. In towards Cooper. He's got the assist as well. Buttarak assists on his first start in Europe or league football. Has Cooper stayed on side? The assistant seemed to indicate he did. What a run it's been. The decision to get those quicker, more fluent attacking players into the team has worked a treat. The first one was a second wave from a set piece, and that one was a counter. But now we've got to deal with a throw. And Medina, no. There was no need. We had so many players back in the box. Please don't be a penalty. It's a free kick. We've got away with it for now. But the danger's not gone. At Medina, that was silly. With 22 gone, this is the best start we could have asked for. Maybe Hoffenheim have rotated, I don't know. As Medina works into Buttarak, he couldn't add a goal, could he? He's just barged off the ball there. Not quite strong enough, though. Hugo Gonzalez, the other man we brought in, goes back to Simic, the flying left back. Cleared as far as Diambu. Oh, my word, where's that come from? Second goal of the season for Mamadi Diambu. That is an unbelievable goal. We've got to watch that one again, haven't we? Simic to Gonzalez. Nice little nutmeg. Simic here. Look at this one. Cleared to the edge. Left foot. Oh, that is unbelievable. We will not score a better goal than that this season. He's not even left-footed. His long shot rating's 10. His finishing's 9. That is possibly the best goal he'll ever score. And this is turning into a dream night. I mean, look at the performance. There is no sign that we've been a dominant team here. It was 3 shots, 3 on target, 3 goals. Now it's 5, but Hoffenheim haven't woken up. They can't be this bad second half. Imagine if we don't win the league, but then go on a massive Europa League run. It could be something quite special. As right on cue, I'm shut up by Christoph Bussmann. First goal of the season, a tidy finish as well. And it's 3-1. Hoffenheim, a little glimmer of hope before the break. As TNS are winning again. They're strong in this save. 3 minutes of stoppage time though. And we're defending again. Don't be 3-2. Shell heads away. Medina chases down. Oh, Adam is completely unmarked. Don't know what word I was going for before. We've given away 2 goals before half-time. I will keep saying it about Shell, Avera and Clara, whoever plays in there. I have never had so many tall defenders that refuse to jump. Genuinely frightens me. But it looks like at 3-0 they've just gone for it. And what was looking like a dream night risks becoming a nightmare, because if you lose from 3 up, it is a long way to come back from that. They've only had 3 shots on target themselves, scored 2 of them. It's not been a great performance from either defensively, as we've got a corner kick with Tagzev. Can we deliver our own blow from a set piece? Up towards the back post, Simic is there, it didn't quite reach. Cooper's on a hat-trick though, unselfishly goes back to Tagzev, and Medina just wide of the post. Really should have hit the target there. With an hour gone, it's changes that we're going to have to look at again. And I'm thinking, for Simic, we're going to drop to a support duty rather than change the player. Gonzalez on the left struggling, so we're going to go Malaysia. I'm not sure I want to do any more at the moment. I know it's a risk at the weekend, but we've got the bottom team. We should be able to get a result. Shell for the second game in a row has been literally abysmal. And we've also got some troubles with Medina physically on the right. So it might be Fode Fofana on for him. I'm going to take Shell off for Clara. Don't know what's happened to him the last week. Might give him the day off at the weekend. And then Diambu's knackered, but I don't think I can take him off. We might just have to risk him for now. Simic at left back could come off, but I've only got that Moraes. In fact, I don't even know if he's fit. What I will do with 6 minutes to go is just take Butarak off for the more experienced man. It's not going to be Suslov this time. We'll go for Samardzic. Or could I go for a centre mid and maybe change the shape? We'll bring on Fiolik there. We'll go for him as a sort of anchor man on defence. And then what I'll also do is put Diambo on a defensive duty. I'll put Tagzev in the middle. And then at left back, I will make the change. I'll bring Hugo Moraes in for Simic. We'll put him back to a more defensive sort of standard fullback duty. And we'll just sit behind the ball. I know it's a little bit early to time waste. But I do feel we'll be able to have a threat doing this. So let's just get into a more standard shape. A box of 4 in the defensive central areas. 2 more defensive traditional fullbacks. And not much going forward. We're in the 5 minutes of stoppage time. So the fullbacks will now edge back to defensive duties. We're doing some tactical work here. We're also going to get the time wasting on. We're going to slow that tempo. We're going to play for set pieces. We're also going to slow it down when we win it. When we've got possession, we'll still counter-attack. And out of possession, we'll drop the line of engagement. I think that's enough. But this could be a very famous win, albeit we've made it harder than it should have been. And it's not over yet, as Malaysia gives the ball away in his own half. Not ideal. And again, focus play down the flank. So what do? Play it inside, give it away. Though Cooper's won it back, tries to release Fofana. Like the idea there. At least he was following the instruction, as Araujo wins it back for Fofana. Tagzev in the middle, he's giving it away, but immediately atones. This is really scrappy. You can see they're pressing us high. They've basically gone 4-2-4 by the looks of it. Big ball forward, no one will get to. I can just see an equaliser coming. I've got to be honest with you. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here and say this will finish 3-3. But it goes wide to Van Bommel. Inside to the central midfielder. Space to run forward from the centre circle. Out to the right-hand side where the fullback's overlapping. Zedilla gets the ball in. Araujo's up and we've lost the header. Max Bayer makes it 3-3. And from 3-0 up, this result, this is the problem, isn't it? This would have been a great result at the start of the night. But from 3-0 up after 23 minutes, it's the sense of the inevitable that follows. It's a great performance attacking. It's a good performance on the counter. Defensively, how are we losing every header in the box with a 6'6", a 6'4", and a 6'3" centre half? I cannot fathom how bad the 3 of these are in the air. And I can't quite work out how to solve it because it shouldn't be an issue. And they keep losing headers to strikers who aren't as good in the air as them. A good result, a good effort, but another frustrating episode. We move on to 8 points. If we beat Sarajevo, who have really struggled so far, we'll be through on 11. That'll be a lovely job well done. I can't help but question what might have been. And for every time that happens, it costs us about 400 grand. Because you get 500 odd for winning. You only get 180 for a draw. Cooper was magnificent. He's going to be first choice now. I could really do with something changing at the back. It's becoming a frustration for me. 6'6", 17 jump in reach. 6'4", 17 jump in reach. 6'3", 16 jump in reach. Don't fancy a header though, do they? Really, really annoying. As it is a decent result. We're still staying in the title race, albeit we are second after 15 games, which not many expected. We are going to return though after the winter break now. And I think probably for the final 2 games of January, because we get through the Croatian Cup quarter-final and all of the stuff up to the winter break. Real Sociedad and Rijeka big games. If we're already through in Europe, if we beat Sarajevo, I might even do Rudez and the deadline, if it's the same as well. Because the last window finished a bit later, didn't it? Should we have a quick look? Just to see when the January window ends so we don't get ourselves caught up. January window, 15th of February. Not even close, right. We'll have to judge it when we get there, won't we? So maybe we'll do a Europa League game, see how the window's going, and then we'll come back for the end of the window and hopefully a Europa League knockout match. If you want to stay up to date and see how we do though, and you did enjoy watching those 2, well, pretty unhelpful draws in the end, but promising performances, and please do put a thumbs up on it, subscribe and turn that notification bell on to stay up to date with everything. If all has gone well, we should have had something a little bit different on the channel yesterday. So please do give that a try in the eye above if you haven't before, as well as the Twitch channel for regular live streams, the football podcast for loads of EFL predictions and fun football chat. And I'll see you back here after a refreshing winter break for more action with Dinamo Zagreb. Not the easy season a few of you expected. The winter transfer window might well be an important one.